Said we're still in a practice session though. All right. Here we are coming live online. Cameras live, rolling, lights, camera, action. Welcome everybody. Thank you absolutely so much for being here, for spending a little time with us. Before we do anything, we got to know who is in the house. So please head over to the chat. Let us know where you're calling in from, who you are, what you teach. Suvi, what else do you need to know about these people? What's important?
Yes. Have you used Brisk before? Have you used Book Creator before? What's bringing you here? We want to learn more about you, and we have lots of follow up materials to share after this, and we'll make sure you get the right things to take these learnings today and move forward with them.
Well, Suvi, while everyone else is introducing themselves in the chat, why don't we go around the circle and just talk a little bit about who we are? And I'm going to have you start.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm Suvi. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I lead marketing and community at Brisk Teaching. And for those of you that are new to Brisk, we are a free AI powered Google Chrome extension for teachers. We will save you between 10 and 20 hours a week for free, right on top of the tools that you're using every day, just like Book Creator. So I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait for you to dive in. And thank you for having me, David and Katie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do this. Katie, you go next, and then you pass the mic to someone.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Katie. I'm the content manager here at Book Creator, and I'm going to be supporting in the chat today. So any of your questions, put them there, and I'll be sharing lots of links throughout. And I'm going to pass it on to Tracy.
Well, hello. Thanks, Katie. I'm Tracy. I am a former kindergarten teacher. Now I'm an instructional tech coach. I'm in Billings, Montana, buried under inches and inches and feet of snow right now. So this is a nice break. I love Book Creator and Brisk, and I'm just super happy to be here today, kind of sharing how these two amazing programs work together. So happy to be here. And I think, Barbara, you're next.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Barb Wellsford. I'm the Assistive Technology Specialist and UDL Specialist for South Shore Regional Center for Education in very windy and icy Nova Scotia right now. And we have been using Book Creator since it was born. I'm not even sure how many years ago, along with when iPads arrived on the scene. And we're running a fantastic Brisk AI pilot project in our region, which is just teachers are saying it is the game changer for implementing universal design for learning, for including all students in your classrooms and saving them time at the same time. So the marriage between Book Creator and Brisk, it's again a game changer. So I can't wait to share what we have done with it in the next few minutes.
Barb, I can't wait for you to do that either. But before we do, I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to just call out a few people in this chat because we have got a ton of community members blowing up the chat saying hello. My name is David Hotler. I am the community manager at Book Creator. That just means that I get to spend time with incredible teachers and platforming their voice and making sure that everyone knows people like Tracy and people like Barb, because these humans are doing incredible things in the classroom and we need to know about it. But before I turn it over to Barb, who's going to take us through a use case of using these two tools together, I want to just share there are some incredible ambassadors hanging out in the chat. So this is a great opportunity to not only learn about both Brisk and Book Creator, but to really connect with people in here. So I'm noticing Kara Lee Crawford, she's in Canada. Kelly Lucero, she's in there. Janet's one of our own and an OG ambassador as well. Susie's in there. Madeline Craig. So I don't have time to call everyone's name, but there is a ton of folks in the chat. It is a wealth of knowledge of individuals who have come together for this webinar. So very excited to continue on. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn the floor over to Barb, and then I'm going to turn it over to Tracy. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do questions and answers because we don't want anyone to leave here feeling uncertain about anything. And so while folks are presenting, what I'd love for you to do is either in the chat or using the Q&A feature, submit your questions. And if it's one where we need to stop the presenter, we will, but probably what we'll do is wait till the end and then field some questions. So get your questions either in the chat or get them in the Q&A, and then we will make sure the presenter asks or answers those questions. While they're presenting, the rest of us are going to camera off, so you're not going to see us. You're just going to be able to focus on the presenter. So my fellow co-hosts, let's leave the floor to Barb. Barb, take your time, get your screen set up. We're going to camera off, go behind the scenes here, and the floor is all yours.
Okay. I'm assuming you're seeing, I don't have my other, my Chromebook set up as another screen, but what I'm sharing
just fine.
Is a document. And it's an example of how we have melded the two amazing products, Book Creator Online and Brisk, together to really identify areas of support that we can offer in this case, students with a developmental language delay. And how we use Book Creator in this instance, I do give you an example down below, is we dive into the amazing range of graphic organizers. And keeping in mind too, within Book Creator Online, we have this extensive array of tools that allow you to make content accessible for all students. We have alt text behind images. We have the ability to translate anything that goes into Book Creator, including a voice note, including text into many different languages. We have the ability to add closed captions to audio and transcripts to audio as well. Closed captions to video, I should say. So keeping in mind the two working together make an absolutely hugely impactful product for working with our students. So this is a document I put together just in response to use of Book Creator Online and Brisk together to show you how, again, impactful they can be. So using Book Creator Online and Brisk to enhance language and writing development in a short story activity with a student with developmental language delay. So the goal here is using Brisk using Brisk generated story based on the student's input into the graphic organizer. We use as an exemplar for the student to celebrate their ideas, really broaden their language use, and develop the structure for learning how to write a story. And honestly, when we put these two together, it is so powerful because Brisk can do this for you in a matter of minutes, among other things. So let me just walk you through the process. So we first brainstorm a topic with the student of high interest using a brainstorm graphic organizer, or we verbally discuss. This can be done individually with a student or at the front of the class with the whole class projected up on the big screen. So we're projecting the Book Creator Online graphic organizer, and everyone might be contributing. In this case, the student actually filled out the graphic organizer. So again, they can add into the graphic organizer many different ways. So again, those universal design features, including typing directly into the whatever tool you're using, Chromebook, iPad, etc. Use word prediction, voice recording, or speech to text. They can have the read aloud option assigned as well. And this is one of the most popular among students, graphic organizers for shaping a story. So this student actually put in into the setting, Brad is my bull. He does not like people at all, but he loves to get out of the barn and run away. It shapes it in the students thinking into setting characters. There's a problem. Oh no, what could the order of events be to work towards solving the problem? So this student inputted the information, right into Book Creator Online. And what I did was quickly launch, while this student was right there, a Google Doc and Brisk Chrome extension. And you'll see the Brisk Chrome extension right down at the bottom right-hand corner. And I think Tracy's going to expand on that and demonstrate how to use Brisk. But so the key to using any AI, and so easy to do in Brisk, is to write your prompt. And in this case, what the prompt is, as you can see here, and I'll just magnify a little bit more so everyone can see it. I'm hoping it will actually magnify. There we go. So the prompt in this case was write a short story about Brad is my bull. And the rest of that prompt was all the information that student wrote into that graphic organizer. Okay, so that was pretty simple. All I really added to the prompt was write a short story. And this is what it produced, Brisk produced, in a matter of minutes. So we get the story, Brad the runaway bull. Once upon a time, there was a big, tall bull named Brad. He had long horns, and I see you have access to this document, so I don't need to read the whole thing because I do have limited time. But notice how it shapes it into a really nice, simple structure of the story. And Brisk did this in a matter of, let me say, 15 seconds. So the student then read the story herself. She had very good decoding skills, and she really realized that what she did in the graphic organizer, her outline produced this story. So we celebrated that. We talked about it. She read it aloud, and it produced the beginning, the middle, the end. And suddenly I heard a loud moo. So it really adds some wonderful flavor to the ending of the story. So then the story could be copied and pasted at this point into Book Creator for reading aloud. And we could ask the student to illustrate the story. They could add images. They could voice record. They could have, again, it read aloud. It could be translated for other students, and literally in Book Creator, it does that within seconds. And a whole new story, a book is created in another language and can be read aloud. And they can continue to write the story from there. So we could prompt them what happens next, and they could continue writing the story in the same graphic organizer that is literally, you pop it in within Book Creator to the next page, again within seconds. Or they could use a different graphic organizers. There's literally hundreds built right into Book Creator Online. Or they could just add more ideas through text boxes or voice recording. They could do a self video in Book Creator and really enjoy that range of universal design features that offer flexible means of demonstrating knowledge. But we can go further. So it's just so exciting with Brisk, because we might not want to leave that activity just with what comes next or adding to the story. We can use Brisk to reflect and build on the story. In seconds, with Brisk, we can generate a quiz based on that story that was produced from the student's graphic organizer. And honestly, literally in seconds. So multiple choice, short answer, long answer. You can generate a vocabulary list so easily. You can generate a Google slide presentation on the story with images. You can also generate guided notes, and I've got examples of that below. And generate a depth of knowledge questions, so DOK questions, and then you can go much deeper. So you can get an idea of the retention of the student of reading her story, the basis of her story. They can gauge comprehension and higher level thinking skills related to her story that she generated, again, literally with the graphic organizer initially in Book Creator Online. So this is a little more detail about, we could ask the students. And this is an example of Brisk guided notes. So it took the story and I asked Brisk to generate from the story some guided notes, and it generates, again, honestly, I'm not kidding you, literally within seconds, guided notes or fill in the blank. And the student could fill this in right in Google Docs, or it could be copy pasted into your book creator or the student's book creator. So again, beginning, middle, end. There are some important vocabulary words to remember. And these are the really, what I love about Brisk, one of the many things is the depth of knowledge questions. So we're not just looking at recall and reproduction, again, from her story, like what is the name of the bull? And how long was Brad out exploring? It goes deeper, offering the student suggestions on skills, diving deeper into skills and concepts like why didn't Brad like staying inside the barn? So a little social emotional component related to some deeper thinking around the student's story. We have strategic thinking. How might the story be different if Brad didn't get hungry? And again, extended thinking. So these are all ideas very quickly generated by Brisk, just based on what's being provided by the student's original ideas developed in Book Creator Online Graphic Organizer. So I just want to mention one other thing. Brisk does this amazing thing as well. And we are all big into universal design for learning and designing with accessibility in mind. So what Brisk does when it generates a document, in this case it's Google Docs, is it will generate it as a fully accessible document. As you can see on the sidebar here, we have headings and we have heading 2. And so someone who's using a screen reader or alternate access can easily access this document that I produced earlier. So
I love this.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so again, we've got Book Creator Online who really has a focus on universal design and including all students. And we have Brisk that can also provide the teacher some amazing ideas and time-saving tips and tricks on also how to provide access for all in their learning. So
yeah, Barb, I love that. One of the things that I noted down when we met before the webinar and just in our conversation was that Brisk bridges the gap between profound differentiated materials like this, which you got from just a graphic organizer that a student created that you would never have had time to create this whole document. It's bridging the gap between this kind of stuff and just like a worksheet or nothing, you know?
Oh, well,
it's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and remembering too, worksheets are not accessible to all students. So we have to be making accessible education materials, and these tools definitely allow teachers to do that in a very, very timely manner and very creative way to engage students, to motivate them, and offer them so many different ways to demonstrate their knowledge. So the
Barb,
other,
it feels like we could talk all night long, and you could probably talk for days on end about UDL and accessibility and reaching all of our students. And I love you for that. Thank you so much for bringing this example to us and just showing us one of the ways, one of the many ways that you're using this with your students. So thank you so much. To keep the show rolling, we're going to bring Tracy on. This is a tight schedule tonight. So Tracy, bring it on you here. There she is. She's going to share her screen. Barb, we thank you so much. There's been a lot of chatter in the chat, so maybe you can pass back through there and just give people a couple of responses. Tracy, the floor is yours. You can jump on, share your screen, and we'll give the show to you. And Barb, you can turn your camera off if you'd like. That way you don't have to be in the show.
oh, okay.
If you want.
You, everyone.
Well, while she's presenting, we're all going to come back in the end, Barb. Don't you go anywhere.
Awesome. Okay. So that document, first of all, I see a lot of people asking about where to find it. And Katie keeps sharing this incredible book in Book Creator that has resources from webinars. And that document that Barb created is linked in that book. So I have it open right here. I was scrolling through it as Barb was talking. So many amazing examples. I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to kind of demo Brisk a little bit to show you what that looks like on the Brisk end as Barb is creating all of that awesomeness that she put in the document. So I will tell you that sort of what drew me to Brisk when I first got to chat with Suvi about it, that kind of sets it apart in my mind from other AI tools is that it just sort of lives in my Chrome. I don't have to open anything. It's anything new. It's a Chrome extension. So if you can see my screen, you'll see that it's kind of living up top here. Install it. It's free. Be sure you click the pin so it shows up in your extensions. And then when you're on a page in Chrome where Brisk will work, you'll just notice this little bee shows up down here and you can move it around wherever you want it. And then that's just kind of where the magic happens. So if I want to Brisk something, I just am going to click on this little button and this menu will pop up. The create button here is what Barb was using for a lot of these activities. So if I click on create, she wanted to create a short story. I think she just clicked here where it says create anything, right? Save yourself some time. It just says create anything that you want. I can decide if I want this to be a Google Doc. And then I'm just grabbing, I have Barb's document over here. So for this example, I'm just grabbing the example she gave us of that prompt. So remember, she just sort of added write a short story, and then she input the words that her students had put in that Book Creator graphic organizer. And then here's where she mentioned if you need to adjust maybe the reading level. I'm just going to go ahead and hit Brisket. Now, what's probably going to happen is it's going to open in a different Chrome tab. And so you're not going to see the magic in action right away. Let's see if I can really quickly jump to.
Oh, we see it. We see it typing
You
out
do?
in your Chrome tab. Yeah, it stayed there.
Oh, good. Okay. I was worried it opened a different. Okay. So hopefully you saw, like Barb was not kidding, in seconds, it created this story. And then, like she mentioned, it created that story in like a Google Doc. And so it's ready for you here. Notice kind of what came up over here. I could translate it. I can adjust it. Maybe I want to make it shorter, make it longer, add more detail. So I can do some other things using this Brisk menu. So that's just one example. She used a lot of different things from that Brisk menu, but I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to use. Another thing that I really love is the feedback tool. In fact, when I talk to teachers about Brisk, that's probably the number one thing that comes up that they love about Brisk is how easy it is to give feedback. So I'm just going to show you that really quickly and then highlight a project that I did with some second graders recently using Book Creator and Brisk. So I am back on this Book Creator page. Notice my little Brisk icon is still living down here. This time, instead of the create button, I'm clicking on give feedback. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make sure I have a book open first. Sorry, I'm just on a bookshelf right now. I'm just gonna open up this book right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on give feedback, and then I can choose which kind of feedback I want to give. The one I really love is this glow and grow feedback. This is my template. It's not the best example. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like. If you have a rubric, so if your students have been doing some specific writing and you have a rubric, which you could create in Brisk, I don't create my rubrics anymore. Brisk creates those for me. I could upload my rubric here. I can change the grade level. This was second grade. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Brisket, and it's just going to generate feedback. Oh, here it says, see, it even knows that there's not a lot of stuff in here, but it's going to generate feedback here. When I have that feedback, I can just click on copy, and then I can add that feedback as a comment. You'll kind of notice how you can give comments and feedback right on the book to your students. I could then copy and paste that feedback right into the book so that my students would get that feedback. Works the same if you're on, say a Google Doc where your students have submitted work on a Google Doc. Of course, you could click on Brisk and do it from there as well. But I have to tell you, I love Book Creator so much. I was pretty excited when I realized a week or two ago that Brisk works in Book Creator and lets us give feedback right into our students' Book Creator books. In fact, wouldn't it be cool if you could click on Brisk and there'd be like a little Book Creator button there? That would be pretty cool too. Okay, so I'm now going to show you another part of Brisk. This is called Brisk Boost. So these tools that come up on this first menu here are more like teacher tools with the things that Barb showed you, creating teacher resources and those types of things. Boost allows you to create sort of a student-facing activity. So for this example that I'm going to show you, this was created for a second grade classroom. They've been studying all about erosion, and we use mystery science as well as Project Lead the Way. So I created this boost activity using one of our mystery science lessons. You could create this with any material that you have. That's what I really love about this. Our district right now is very focused on using our adopted resources. And so I love that I can pull up our adopted curriculum and resources and create some engaging things that help me save time and help my students be more engaged and dive a little bit more deeply into the material. So I've got mystery science open here. Notice my little Brisk icon opens up. This time I'm going to say boost student activity. So this time I want to create something that I'm then going to share with my students. Different things that you can create here. Another favorite of mine is this character chat where you can have them have a little chat back and forth with a character from a story that they've read. Where they're, whatever your standards are, sharing about the main events of the story, characters, setting detail, that sort of thing. What I did for this is tutor, and this created a tutor for my students to sort of practice and have this conversation with this tutor about the information that they were learning in our mystery science activity. preview. You can preview this activity as well, so that you can make adjustments and see how this works for your learners. So what I did for this particular activity is, because I wanted to add in this extra element, of not only having them engage with the Brisk tutor and have these conversations where they're really thinking about the material that they're learning, but I then wanted them to have a creative outlet for sharing that learning. Just like Barb said, we've been using Book Creator here in our district since it was a baby as well. So it's a favorite and it's a go-to creation tool for students. It's always key to me as an integration specialist that we're always giving our students a new way to share their thinking and learning. For those of you who use Book Creator, you know that it's simple to use. All of the multimodal tools that they have, being able to draw, type, add their voice, search for images, add video, it just makes it the perfect space for them to be able to share their learning. So as an example, here's the template that I created. I was able to then just link the Boost activity in the Book Creator template. So they would open the book, click on the Boost activity, go ahead and complete the activity or go through the activity. And then they're completing the exam or the pages here in Book Creator. I'm gonna maybe I'll pull up this one really fast just to show off some of the students' work in here. These are works in progress as they're still completing some of this learning. But after they practiced what they were doing in Brisk, now they're filling out, again, these are templates in Book Creator. They're drawing, they're adding photos in here. I love how they're using the different pens to really kind of think about, right? They weren't just sort of like, oh, I want to use the glow pen or whatever. Like they're really deciding like this pen makes sense with what I'm drawing and what I'm learning. And then they'll have opportunities in here as they complete this unit and finish their learning to add some reflection and additional pages in here. So a really cool, I think, just way for them to not only engage with the material in a new way, but then be able to share their thinking and learning in a new way as well.
I love it. Tracy, you've shown a lot. Like you just did a lot of things, and
I tried to go fast. Yeah,
you did. And there's been a bunch of chat and asking questions and stuff. So,
okay.
One of the things that someone was asking when you're using the feedback tool, and I know that you were just on a page and it didn't really actually have a lot of student work on it, but maybe pull up one that's got like an image or something on it. Folks just were like wondering if you were like in page view, is it going to give feedback on all the pages or just what's in text? Like, can I use it on this page and get feedback?
So let's go here, give feedback, glow and grow.
I mean, there's not a lot here to give feedback on, obviously, but just to see if it like notices what's going on.
So you'll kind of see here, and again, if you had a rubric, I really like using this. I think of the activity, have Brisk, all of the B words, Brisk, Boost, Book Creator. I have Brisk make the rubric, and then I just upload the rubric back into the feedback tool. But you kind of get an idea here. Again, this was a template. It's not a ton of student writing, but just to kind of give you an idea. So I could copy all of this. Oftentimes, I'll maybe make it shorter. Sometimes I'll just grab a sentence from each space, but then I could just click on this little comment tool and copy and paste and then add that comment so that my student would see it. Again, if you're in a Google Doc or whatever, it would work the same way where then you could just copy and paste it and give them that feedback.
I love it. Let's have all the other folks come back on. Tracy, thank you so much for just showing. I mean, this is like the tip of the iceberg because we're having people share like the way they're using it in the chat. And like we're seeing you show a very basic example across some student work that you're allowed to show us, but everyone is kind of envisioning where this goes if we start brisking on top of everything, all of our books. Can we try it in page view? Let's try with Canva. Let's try, it's like this is the newness of these tools is really fun to go and experiment. So if you're out there and you're out there experimenting with Brisk and your favorite tools, hopefully Book Creator, let us know what you think. Take a screenshot, take a video to share like what's working best, and tag us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. We're in the chat with all of the social medias, and tag Tracy and let her know, did you like it? How did it work?
Love that.
I think that's all of the questions. There was a lot of stuff in the chat there at the end. A lot of folks are really excited about this integration, and I am too. Katie, just maybe make sure we don't have any more questions, that all the stuff in the Q&A got answered. Thank you. Suvi and Katie were in there answering folks' questions. So too, you can go in there and check that out. Maybe copy and paste the chat real quick because that was going so fast. I wasn't even able to keep up with it, but there's a bunch of stuff in there. Make sure you grab all the links. Tomorrow, everyone who registered is going to get an email with the recording and all the links that you'll need. So you don't need to be worried about taking notes or anything. But thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you, Barb, for being here. Suvi, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for just organizing this. You were kind of the one who was like, we should do this. And so emailed, we did it. And I love it. So Margaret, the question just comes in last minute. All you have to do is install the Chrome extension and click on it when you're using Book Creator, and it'll pop up. Super, super simple. And in fact, on top of pretty much anything you're using inside of Google Chrome, you just click the Brisk button, it pops right up. Well, folks, without further ado,
I can share one more little thing, just because Tracy showed the feedback with Brisk, which is looking at the text. Just a sneak peek, something coming really soon. Brisk is going to get a little bit smarter and really understand what's on the page holistically, not just the text, the images, the look and the feel, the colors, all of the things on a Book Creator page. Brisk is going to start to understand, and you can use Brisk to create additional learning experiences for students, feedback for students, this kind of stuff coming later this week. So really exciting.
Oh my gosh. We didn't know she was going to do that. Feature dropping. All right. Well, that's awesome, folks. Stay tuned. Get on social media, follow folks, and make sure that you're checking out all the latest updates coming from Brisk. Without any further ado, with that said, thank you all so much for being here, for your time. If you're watching live or if you're watching the recording, thanks for making it this far. Big round of applause for Barb and Tracy. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Katie and Suvi, for all the support.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.